When it comes to restoring your smile, dental crowns and bridges are commonly used and last for years, but they don't always last forever. So how do you know when it's time to replace them? Welcome back, dentist Dr. Terri Alani and her patient Drew Cohn. Hi there. All right, there are more things we can do with teeth today than ever before. Some of it's strictly cosmetic, other is dental health, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so when it comes to crowns and bridges, first explain what a crown is and when you might need one.
Okay, a crown is a full coverage restoration that's put directly over the tooth. Indications would be if you have a lot of damage to the tooth is cracked, it's broken, especially on a front tooth. Some patients will come in with the little edge taken off or broken off the tooth, and you can't really restore that with a filling. It doesn't last because of the location. So we'll put a full coverage crown or a back tooth that's had a huge filling in it.
Okay, and a bridge. These are all things that people don't know until they need one, right? And then a bridge.
A bridge. Actually, nowadays we do more implants than the bridge, but a bridge would be when you have a tooth missing and you have teeth on either side of the space. So a bridge would be 3 crowns joined together, or or 4 crowns joined together.
Whatever you need there. All right. So Drew, what was the situation with you?
Well, as a young child, I had major tetracycline damage. I had really bad tonsils, about 5 or 6 years old, and I basically just took a lot of tetracycline. They didn't realize then that the damage it would do as your teeth come in. Your permanent
drugs that you have to take can really damage your teeth. It comes through in your teeth.
And the permanent teeth came in with there's a very distinct color with tetracycline damage, and I did have that very badly.
So was it more of a cosmetic thing to you, or was it
It was eventually. I had a bridge originally because I had a front tooth that just wouldn't come in. It was a very weird situation. So I did have the bridge first in like the 8th or 9th grade. And then I had bonding,
and that's early
which
to have
didn't
that
work.
bridge. Yeah,
I was so excited though because I had like this hole forever. So I finally got the wonderful bridge, and then went in and had work done when I first married 23 years ago in May, and I went to Terri. I knew her through a friend of mine, Brenda Hicks, and her husband had worked with Terri.
But it doesn't always last forever.
No, it doesn't.
Exactly. Was it 23 years ago?
It was.
Oh my God.
23 years is quite a long time. That's pretty good.
Terri did my the first work on me with porcelain veneers, and she had to match it to my bridge 23 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
And so then Drew came back in, I guess this last year, and of course crowns, I mean, that's a lot of longevity. That speaks volumes for our office and our lab, but they don't last forever. Usually we'll say 5 to 15 years, 10 years on the average, and the patient has to maintain the oral care. But with Drew, she wanted a whiter, brighter smile, because with all the new materials with the crowns,
things have changed in 23 years.
Yes.
When do you know that your crown needs to be replaced?
There's a lot of different reasons. You go into your dentist, that's why it's so important to visit your dentist regularly. If you have decay, now the crown doesn't decay, but the tooth underneath the crown can decay, and a lot of times the patient isn't aware of it. So we have our little sticky tools, our little sharp tools that we go in and check. Secondly, if the crown is broken, if it has a hole in it, a lot of back teeth wear and they have holes in them that the patient might not be able to see. Again, very important to go in for your dental appointment, and
because you can see what's on the horizon.
Exactly. And lastly, if the crown has changed, well, if the crown doesn't match anymore. Now the crown won't change color. Porcelain does not change color,
but
your teeth do. So a lot of people will elect to whiten your teeth first and then replace the crown.
All right, we have a caller, Lita, on the phone. Hi, Lita.
Hi, Deborah. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Thank you very much. What's your question?
Good. I had a problem, first of all, with a crown. I had it put on, and then like a year later, I was eating on an apple or something, and it broke off. So that tooth is like filed down too small, and then the tooth next to it is broken down in a gum. How unhealthy is that, and does it cause any further health risk?
Is it going to cause any further damage to the tooth if one's filed down, one's broke?
It sounds like she probably had a root canal on one, and sometimes the post will break off at the gum line. And actually, you don't want to leave that type of situation in your mouth, because it can cause some bacteria, some decay, some discomfort, maybe an abscess. So she definitely wants to get that taken care of.
So one, get it fixed, and then hope that it can stay on longer than a year.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you, Drew. For more information, you can contact Dr. Terri Alani at TexasToothLady.com. I always love that, TexasToothLady.com. Or call 713-621-5141.